Good evening. How are you today?
I'm just doing great, Mark.
Tell me, how did you come about these pretty brooches you have?
Well, it's an interesting story. When my husband's grandmother passed away, we received several things from her estate, including a shoebox which had these brooches in there, along with many other items of what were very obviously to me costume jewelry. And Katie lived in New York City on the Upper East Side and was married to a Wall Street stockbroker back in the day, and they did do a fair amount of traveling.
Wonderful. You've got some pretty pieces, and to a degree I can see why these would have possibly been left in a shoebox. I'm going to start off with the first one, with this one right down here, which we have a beautiful little green tourmaline brooch. It is actually going to be 18 karat gold, and if we take a look at the back side right here, we can see that we have a stamp right down here which says 750, 750. That is going to be the numeric equivalent to 18 karat golds, the 18K that we see here in the States.
Oh, okay.
Telling us it's most likely made overseas, so they're traveling. We have the maker's mark on the top. Right above it is going to be a GB, and the number is 315. Unfortunately, there are a lot of makers overseas, and I can't look up all of the different type of makers out there, so I haven't found all the information on this one. But this is just a real pretty piece. It's all handmade. Turn this over. Under magnification, we can see in between each one of the petals of these leaves the little saw blade marks, telling us that this was definitely a handmade and not something stamped out. From this one, we can go from here over to the next one, which is going to be the coral brooch. And the coral brooch, again, the detail on the coral brooches is a wonderful piece. You've got the different types of finishes on here, the high polish finish, a little satin finish inside the leaves. And the fun part about this one, if we turn this one over as well and look right behind the piece of coral, you've got the 18 karat gold stamp again. The 18 karat gold stamp right above it is going to have the Tiffany stamp. Now, Tiffany made a wonderful piece, and lots of people try to make things very similar to Tiffany's and even try to make their own Tiffany pieces. Looking at the stamps and the quality, the craftsmanship of the piece, we can see that this one is not really a truly Tiffany piece. Someone probably had a little plaque that they put a couple stamps on there with a Tiffany name. Not as well done as it could have been done, but it's still a fun piece that someone tried to probably sell to a tourist as a Tiffany piece. This one, you've got a beautiful coral piece right above it, or the Italian coral. So again, something else that could have been done overseas in Italy as well. The next one, we have a beautiful, large, 32 karat smoky quartz with small little citrines around it. This one's not stamped. It has been tested to be 14 karat gold. That's a pretty one. This was a fun part for me. It was going to be the last piece right here. This one is going to be stamped 14 karat. At the bottom right here is also going to be stamped Germany. It's going to have the 1958 mark as well as gross, which is spelled out. Gross was the manufacturer Henkel & Gross made lots of costume jewelry, started in 1938. This one right here is 14 karat gold, and you don't see too many of their gold or silver pieces. They did make some mostly during the 60s, and so this one right here is going to probably be the most collectible one. So when we're talking about values on pieces of gold brooches like this from this era, you're looking at this tourmaline one for about $1,000 or so.
Okay.
The Tiffany one, which is not really Tiffany one, it's more now of a gold brooch,
Yes.
is going to be about $1,500. The biggest one, the heaviest one, the 14 karat gold quartz one, is going to be about $3,000.
Wow.
This little flower brooch is a wonderful piece. By itself, without the stamp, would have probably been about $1,000. But because it is a gross one, it is an early gross piece, it's going to probably run about $1,500 to $1,700.
Wow, that is interesting. And just out of curiosity, if this piece had been a real Tiffany piece,
you could have doubled that price.
Okay. That is fantastic.
Thank
Mark,
you for
thank
bringing
you
him
so
in.
much. This is
Very
so
nice meeting you.
interesting. Can't wait to tell my husband.
Good.